In a quiet corner of Silicon Valley, far from the flashing cameras and stock market tickers, Elon Musk sat in a minimalist conference room, staring at a sleek tablet screen. On it, a live video played, a vehicle gliding effortlessly down a dusty rural road in Zimbabwe. Its design was modern, almost futuristic, but that wasn't what made Elon's brow furrow. This car wasn't plugged into anything, nor was there a single charging station in sight. And yet, it had been running for over 8 hours straight. The presenter on the screen called it Africa's self-powered marvel, a creation by none other than Maxwell Chikumbutso. In the clip, the car accelerated with a whisper-soft hum of electric motors, but there was no sign of a battery swap, no solar panels strapped to the roof, no hydrogen tanks hidden in its body. Somehow, it was producing its own energy as it moved. The camera zoomed in on Maxwell, standing beside the car with his usual quiet confidence. He spoke of breaking free from the global grid, of a future where no one would ever need to pay for electricity again. Elon leaned back, his expression unreadable. Around the table, his senior engineers traded skeptical glances. "If this is real," one of them muttered, "it changes everything, not just for Africa, but for us." Elon didn't reply immediately. He replayed the footage, pausing on the moment the hood opened briefly, revealing nothing like a traditional EV drivetrain. Instead, there was a compact, glowing module with faint pulses of blue light, almost like a living heartbeat. The scene shifted. Thousands of miles away, in Harare, a crowd had gathered for a public test drive. Maxwell's self-powered car had already traveled from Bulawayo to Harare without a single stop for fuel or charging. News crews jostled for position as he slid behind the wheel. The car moved forward with silent grace, winding through city streets, then onto the open road. Children ran alongside, laughing, while elders watched with a mix of wonder and disbelief. Back in California, Elon tapped the table rhythmically, his mind racing. "We need to know exactly what's inside that module," he said at last. "If it works the way they say, we're looking at the end of every charging network we've ever built." One of his top engineers, Sofia Alvarez, spoke up. "It's already gone viral. Every EV forum is dissecting it frame by frame. If we approach him, it'll have to be discreet." Elon's eyes narrowed. "No. If we approach him, it'll have to be in person." Meanwhile, in Zimbabwe, Maxwell was already fielding offers, calls from automotive giants, energy conglomerates, even foreign governments. But he refused every one of them. "This is not for sale," he told a persistent European investor. "It's for the people who have been left in the dark for generations." The car's next test was already scheduled, a grueling, cross-border journey from Zimbabwe to South Africa, designed to silence the last of the skeptics. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Maxwell's team worked in a guarded warehouse, fine-tuning the module. Outside, the sound of motorcycles rumbled, not the friendly hum of locals, but the low, aggressive growl of engines too heavy for casual use. Toriro, Maxwell's chief of security, peered through the slats and cursed under her breath. The visitors were not here for a photo op. In California, Elon's private jet was being prepared. He had made his decision. "If this car is real," he said to Sophia, "we're about to witness the start of an entirely new game. And I need to be standing on the field when it happens." 2 days later, the Johannesburg airport tarmac shimmered under the late afternoon sun as a sleek, matte grey Gulfstream jet touched down. There was no official announcement of Elon's arrival, no red carpet, no press. Only a handful of trusted associates disembarked, moving quickly toward an unmarked SUV. Elon, dressed in a plain black jacket and baseball cap, blended in with his security team. By nightfall, they had crossed into Zimbabwe under a carefully arranged cover, avoiding major checkpoints. Their destination was a small industrial complex on the outskirts of Harare, the rumored home base of Maxwell's operations. The compound was shrouded in silence, save for the faint hum of machinery and the occasional burst of welding sparks leaking from the high windows. Inside, Maxwell stood beside his car, its hood open, the mysterious blue-lit module casting an otherworldly glow across the workshop. Engineers moved with quiet precision, running final diagnostics for the South Africa run scheduled for the next morning. Toriro stiffened when the door swung open. The sight of Elon in the doorway drew a ripple of murmurs through the room. Maxwell turned slowly, his eyes narrowing as he recognized the visitor. "I thought the world's richest man would be too busy to fly halfway around the planet for a rumor," Maxwell said, his voice calm but edged with steel. Elon stepped forward, stopping a few feet from the car. "It's not a rumor if it's changing the world. And if what I'm seeing here is real, you've already changed it, maybe more than you realize." Maxwell closed the hood gently. "And what exactly do you want, Mr. Musk?" "To understand," Elon replied. "To see what powers this thing. To see if it's a miracle or a mirage." The room grew tense. Tariro's hand hovered near the concealed holster under her jacket. Outside, the low growl of engines returned, the same motorcycles from before. Their riders were circling the compound now, headlights cutting through the night. Maxwell's gaze shifted briefly toward the sound, then back to Elon. "You picked a dangerous night to come here." Elon glanced toward the door, then back at the car. "Good. I've never liked easy introductions." The workshop lights flickered for a moment as if reacting to something unseen. And then, from the shadows at the far end of the room, a figure stepped forward, someone neither Maxwell nor Elon expected to see in this place. The man emerging from the shadows moved with quiet authority, his tailored charcoal suit a stark contrast to the oily overalls of the engineers. His face was half-lit by the glow of the module, revealing sharp, calculating eyes. Maxwell's expression hardened. "I told you we were done," Maxwell said, his voice low. The stranger ignored the warning and stepped closer to the car, his polished shoes echoing on the concrete floor. "You don't get to decide when we're done," he replied, his accent betraying a mix of London polish and something far older. "The technology in this vehicle belongs to more than just you, Mr. Chikumbutso. It has history." Elon's gaze snapped to Maxwell. "History?" he asked, his tone skeptical but curious. Maxwell's jaw tightened. "Not here. Not now." The stranger smiled faintly, as if savoring a private joke. "If you think you can protect this invention from the world's interests, from people like me, you are gravely mistaken. Tonight isn't just about your car, Maxwell. It's about control." Outside, the motorcycle engines grew louder, closer. Headlights flooded the workshop's walls as shadows danced across the space. Tariro barked orders to two guards at the gate, but her eyes never left the intruder. Elon took a step toward the car, his instincts telling him that whatever was about to happen could either shatter this invention's future or seal it forever. "If you're here to threaten him," Elon said to the stranger, "then you're already behind. This thing is bigger than all of us." The stranger's smile didn't fade. "Bigger than you know, Mr. Musk. That module, it's not just a power source. It's a key. And keys open doors." Before anyone could respond, a deafening crash shattered the tension. The compound's main gate buckled inward under the force of an armored vehicle. Sparks rained down as the motorcycles surged in behind it, their riders clad in black tactical gear. Maxwell's engineers scattered. Tariro drew her weapon. The stranger merely stepped back into the shadows, his final words lingering in the air, "Let's see who claims the future tonight." The echo of the gunshot ricocheted through the workshop, followed by the metallic clang of a bullet striking steel. Sparks burst from the side of the car as Maxwell ducked behind it, dragging Elon with him. Tariro fired back, her stance unwavering, each round aimed with surgical precision. The intruders moved like they trained for this, two flanking toward the module, another three forcing their way inside with suppressed rifles raised. The air filled with the acrid tang of gunpowder and the distant wail of alarms from somewhere deep in the compound. Maxwell's mind was racing. This wasn't random. They weren't here for him, at least not directly. They were here for the module. If they got their hands on it, the dream of a self-powered world would be gone before it began, swallowed up in some shadow project never meant for the public. Elon peered out from behind the car, his eyes darting between the chaos and the strange, pulsing light of the power unit. "If they hit that thing." "They won't," Maxwell cut in, his voice steely. But even as he spoke, one of the intruders managed to break through the defensive line, sprinting toward the front of the car with a compact cutting torch in hand. Tariro pivoted, taking him down in a clean double tap, but the moment's distraction gave another attacker the opening he needed to slam a magnetic device onto the module's housing. Maxwell saw the red LED begin to blink. His breath caught. "That's not just a tracker," he muttered. "It's a kill switch." Elon's brow furrowed. "A what?" Before Maxwell could answer, a deep, resonant hum began to build from inside the module, lower than any engine, deeper than any motor. The blinking red light intensified, matching the rhythm of the hum. The air grew heavy, like the moment before a thunderstorm. Tariro yelled something over the noise, but it was lost to the rising vibration. And then, without warning, the stranger in the suit reappeared from the shadows, his hand resting on the device. "You don't understand," he said, his voice calm amid the chaos. "If this activates, no one leaves this room the same." The hum reached a pitch that made the walls tremble. Somewhere above, glass shattered. Then, a blinding surge of blue light burst from the module, swallowing the room whole.